You've seen blue jays mimic hawks, and it's not just for fun. Watch as they terrorize smaller birds with terrifying precision. See the hidden war in your yard? Stay to the end, because you'll learn how this mimicry saves your birds and how it might be a secret signal to others. Number 1. The shocking sound of deception. In your yard, blue jays have a talent for mimicry that's both fascinating and unsettling. They can replicate the calls of hawks with such accuracy that even other birds fall for the ruse. This is no accident, it's a survival strategy. By mimicking the predator's call, blue jays drive smaller birds away from feeding spots, securing more food for themselves. What this means for you is that the next time you hear a hawk's cry, it might just be a blue jay showing off its vocal skills. The mimicry of blue jays is not limited to hawks. It stretches to at least 10 different bird species. This ability is so refined that even birds that aren't their usual prey can be fooled into fleeing. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology has studied this behavior closely, noting that blue jays are among the most vocal mimics in the avian world. Their calls can be so eerily similar to those of hawks that other birds react as if a real threat is near. This clever trick allows blue jays to dominate feeding areas and reduce competition. It's a form of deception that's as intelligent as it is strategic. But blue jays don't just mimic, they use their calls to shape the ecosystem around them. Their ability to imitate hawks can change the behavior of entire flocks, altering where birds feed and how they interact. This mimicry isn't random, it's a calculated move in the bird world's complex social hierarchy. The more accurately a blue jay can mimic a predator, the more control it holds over its environment. And yet, this strategy is just one piece of the puzzle. What other secrets might blue jays be hiding in their calls? The next section will reveal a surprising twist. Number 2. The silent war for feeder space is a daily drama played out in your yard. Blue jays are not just loud and colorful, they're master strategists. During feeding season, they use mimicry to keep rivals at bay, and it's a tactic as clever as it is ruthless. You might hear a sudden, sharp call that sounds like a hawk, even though no hawk is near. This is the blue jay's way of scaring off smaller birds like chickadees and sparrows without having to fight. What this means for you is that your feeders may feel like battlegrounds, even when you're not looking. Stay tuned to see how this mimicry shapes the balance of power in your backyard ecosystem. Blue jays don't just mimic hawks. They also copy the calls of other birds, sometimes even other blue jays. This ability gives them an advantage in claiming the most prime spots at feeders, where food is plentiful and competition is fierce. Studies from the University of Washington have shown that this mimicry is most common when food sources are scarce and blue jays are under pressure to secure their meals. It's not just about intimidation, it's about survival. Your yard may host a constant, invisible battle as blue jays use their vocal skills to outwit and outmaneuver their feathered neighbors. Watching this behavior unfold can feel like witnessing a hidden world of strategy and survival. What happens when other birds learn to recognize these tricks? That's where the real intrigue begins. The mimicry of blue jays isn't just a show of strength, it's a survival tactic that keeps them at the top of the feeding hierarchy. This behavior is especially intense during the winter months when food is harder to find, and every seed matters. What you might not realize is that this mimicry has a ripple effect. Other birds start to recognize these false alarms and become more cautious, even hesitant, around feeders. It's a subtle shift in the balance of your backyard, one that affects not just blue jays, but all the birds that share your space. This silent war for feeder space is only the beginning of a larger story about how birds adapt and outwit each other in the wild. What happens when the tables finally turn? You'll want to stay tuned for the next chapter. Number 3. The calls of blue jays may be more than just sound. They could be a hidden language. Imagine your backyard filled with birds that aren't just singing, but actually speaking to one another in a code only they understand. Blue jays are known for their remarkable ability to mimic the calls of hawks, crows, and even other birds. Researchers are beginning to think that this mimicry isn't just for show. It might be a way for blue jays to communicate with their kin. What this means for you is that the next time you hear a blue jay imitate another bird, you might be listening in on a conversation. The mystery of their calls is just beginning to unfold. Your yard might be a stage for a secret dialogue that only blue jays understand. Some researchers suggest that when a blue jay mimics the call of a hawk, it could be a signal to nearby jays that a predator is nearby, like a warning. On the other hand, if a blue jay repeats the call of another bird without a predator in sight, it might be saying that the area is safe. This theory was proposed in a 2021 study published in the Auk, which examined how blue jays use mimicry to share information with their relatives. It's an intriguing idea that challenges the long-held belief that mimicry is purely deceptive. Your birds may be speaking in a way that scientists are only just beginning to listen to. The complexity of blue jay mimicry is not yet fully understood, but it's opening a door to new discoveries about avian communication. This theory suggests that mimicry could be a way for blue jays to share information about their environment with their kin, much like a radio broadcast. It's a possibility that's still being explored by scientists, but it's reshaping our understanding of bird behavior. The next time you hear a blue jay repeat a strange call, you might be witnessing a conversation that's far more sophisticated than you imagined. This hidden language may be just the beginning of what your backyard birds are capable of, and the story is only yet fully understood. Number 4. The surprising side effect of mimicry is a hidden strategy that blue jays use to stay safe in your yard. You might have noticed them mimicking hawks, but this isn't just for show. It's a calculated move that helps them avoid becoming prey. Blue jays have been observed copying the calls of raptors with such precision that predators like owls can be confused. This behavior, as a 2018 study in behavioral ecology reveals, gives them a real edge in survival. What this means for you is that the blue jays visiting your yard are more than just colorful birds. Their clevers for visiting your yard are more than just colorful birds. This mimicry has deep roots, evolving over thousands of years as a survival tactic. Blue jays are not simply copying sounds, they're adapting them with remarkable accuracy. They can alter the tone, rhythm, and even the pitch of their calls to mirror a hawk's, which can be startling to predators. This ability isn't limited to a few individuals, it's widespread among the species. Their calls can be so convincing that even other birds might pause, unsure of what they're hearing. Such a skill showcases the intelligence and adaptability of blue jays in the wild. But there's more to this mimicry than meets the eye. Blue jays use this ability not just to scare off owls, but to manipulate the behavior of other animals in their environment. By sounding like a predator, they can startle competitors or even drive them away from food sources. This is a powerful advantage that has likely shaped their role in your local ecosystem. The next time you hear a blue jay mimic a hawk, remember, you're witnessing a behavior that's been honed by evolution. What other secrets might these birds be hiding in your backyard? Number 5. The ripple effect on your yard begins with a single mimicry call from a blue jay. These clever birds can imitate the calls of hawks, and when they do, it sends a signal through the neighborhood. Birds like song sparrows and white-throated sparrows, which rely on hearing to detect danger, often take it as a real threat. This subtle shift in behavior can change which birds visit your feeders, altering the dynamic of your backyard ecosystem. What this means for you is that the presence of blue jays can influence the diversity of birds you see, even if they're not directly interacting with your feeders. The next time you hear a blue jay, you might be listening to a key player in a much larger story. The mimicry doesn't just scare a few birds, it creates a chain reaction that can ripple through the entire yard. According to the National Audubon Society's bird count data, the behavior of blue jays can lead to a noticeable drop in the number of species that visit your feeders. For example, when blue jays are active, song sparrows may stay hidden in thickets, and white-throated sparrows may avoid the area altogether. This shift can make your yard feel less lively, even if the feeders are full. It's not just about scaring birds away, it's about how the ecosystem responds to perceived threats, even when they're not real. Your yard becomes a chain reaction that can ripple through the entire civule. The impact of blue jay mimicry can be surprising in its scale. Some yards report a 40% drop in bird diversity when blue jays are active, turning a once bustling feeding area into a more subdued place. This isn't just about the birds that flee, It's about the silence that follows, the absence of familiar calls, and the subtle changes in how the yard feels. Even birds that don't fear blue jays might alter their routines, shifting feeding times or choosing different spots. What this means for you is that the presence of blue jays is more than a fleeting moment. It's a powerful force that shaped the rhythm of your backyard. And as we look ahead, there's more to uncover about how these small, everyday interactions influence the world around you. Number 6. The secret behind the call is more intricate than you might think. Blue jays are not merely imitating other birds for fun. They are using these mimicries as a tool for social power. During the breeding season, male blue jays mimic hawks to create a sense of intimidation. This is not just a random act, but a calculated display meant to warn rivals and impress mates. The Ornithological Society of North America notes that this behavior is especially frequent during the spring, when territory claims are at their peak. What this means for you is that the next time you hear a blue jay mimic a hawk, you're witnessing a moment of territorial strategy in action. Blue jays are masters of deception, using their mimicry skills to manipulate the perceptions of other birds and even humans. Their ability to copy the calls of predators like hawks is not just for show. It's a key part of their social hierarchy. This mimicry allows them to establish dominance without direct confrontation, which is a clever and energy-efficient tactic. Other birds in the area may interpret the mimicry as a sign that the blue jay is not to be challenged, giving the bird an upper hand in the neighborhood. It's a subtle but powerful form of nonverbal communication that shapes the dynamics of your yard's ecosystem. What might seem like a chaotic cacophony of calls in your backyard is actually a finely tuned language of power and position. Blue jays use mimicry not just to scare, but to make a statement about their place in the hierarchy. Each copied sound is a calculated move in a much larger game of survival and reproduction. This behavior is not only a sign of intelligence, but also a way for blue jays to secure resources like food and nesting spots. As you continue to observe your feathered neighbors, you may notice other birds responding to these mimicries in ways you've never noticed before. What will you discover next in the world of backyard bird communication? You watch as the blue jay stands still, its eyes reflecting the light of the morning sun, calling out with a voice that echoes through the trees. It's not just a warning, it's a call to awareness, a reminder that even the smallest creatures hold wisdom beyond our understanding. In that moment, you feel the weight of connection not just to the bird but to the world it belongs to. You realize that nature has been trying to teach you all along, and you are only beginning to listen. As the blue jay's call fades into the stillness of the air, you feel a quiet awe settle over you. This moment is more than a glimpse into the life of a bird. It is a mirror held up to your own soul. You begin to see the balance of life not as something distant, but as something woven into your daily existence. In this small, sacred space, you find a sense of peace and purpose, knowing that you are part of something much greater than yourself. Have you ever noticed blue jays mimicking hawks near your feeders? What did it look like, and how did the other birds react? Share your observations in the comments, and let's explore the hidden world of backyard bird behavior together. I'll see you in the next one.